So yeah, when watching the podcast the other day, obviously there was a few references to news that's going to be coming out, and I mean, I for one wanted to know what was the attempted hostage situation that you had with the high-profile individual.
Who was it going to be?
Who was it going to be? Yeah.
Yeah, everybody wants to know. There's a story behind it. So the person that it was Ian Brady, innit? Obviously the Moors killer, the child killer. So
yeah.
like, when I was in Ashworth, there was all of us like sitting on the table, and there was like a conversation in sort of like jest, because you know I was still. This was before my sort of change. This was like this was actually leading up to the change. We was all sitting at a table. It was like spoken about in jest. Oh yeah, we should grab the keys. We should go over to his ward and hold him like pull the tube out of his nose. No, because obviously he used to say that he was on a hunger strike and that. But everyone in Ashworth he stayed like he was never on a hunger strike. It was all like with him. He was just a psychopath, wasn't he? He was just a piece of shit. Yeah. Like he was just nasty. But so we was all sitting in a conversation. Yeah, we should go over and all that. And that's all it was. It was a conversation. You know, immature or like banter or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Antisocial, immature banter, whatever you want to call it. It was just one of them conversations. I had the conversation. I own up to having that conversation. But one of the guys who was like overheard or whatever went to the staff and was like, Ben Hatchett and all that, and named some other guys and said they're all planning on grabbing some keys, going over to the ward, and they was going to do Ian Brady. So I remember I had like an appointment to go to the dentist or whatever, which is all like within inside the high secure, like they call it the med centre. So I've gone to the med centre, and when I've come back from the med centre, I come onto the ward and there was like staff everywhere. So I walked on, I was like, well, what's going on? There's like, Ben, we need to speak to you, innit? I was like, okay. So walking me down to seclusion, my gut's going, I'm thinking, what the fuck is that? I knew, you know something serious. I'm like, something's like serious here. Like, I thought something might have happened on there. Like, I didn't really actually know it was like fully me. And as I go in seclusion, I was like, I'm going in seclusion. Like, what am I going in seclusion for? Like, we're talking to you in there. Like, they just wanted me in that box. They wanted me in the box. So anyway, I've gone in, they opened the door, and they shut the door, and they've opened up the hatch. And they was like, look, we know what you're planning. I was like, what? You know what? What do you mean you know what I'm planning? You tell me what I'm fucking planning. I don't know what I'm planning. I don't know what the fucking plan to get out of here is. Like, what the fuck? And then that's when it was like, look, we've had intelligence that you are going to go over and take, obviously, Ian Brady hostage. I was like, what? And my whole inside just dropped. Like, I'm thinking, what the actual fuck? And but then they punished me. The thing what really pissed me off about it, because I was saying to them, they was like trying to say there was like evidence, there was like, how we was going to do it, you know, like it was just like Chinese whisper. I'm hearing all this from one like I said to you, an inappropriate conversation I shouldn't have had. It was like all these sort of things were coming out. There was like just people fucking whatever trying to get brownie points, whatever, trying to say it was like this, it was like that. And it was like all blown up to be something it really wasn't. And then, but the thing is, what really pissed me off is I got punished for it. Okay. Do you know what I mean? They punished me, and I said to them and said, because that's the thing about these high secure places, Bournemouth, Ashworth, and that. Yeah, it's his own world. Because I was saying to them, I said, okay, well let's get the police involved. There was nearly 9 months segregation I had to do because of that. 9 months seg, know about the block. And then I said to them, let's give me these charges. You accuse me of something, yeah. You'll punish me for something, yeah. Like what the actual fuck?
Of course, because them sort of situations, that's what happens. You have a conversation, someone overhears it, they add their little bit on. Yeah. Before you know, you've got a full-blown conspiracy. Yeah. Serious, like, you're looking to take keys, you take hostages. I mean, he's a high-profile target. Yeah. Brady.
But the thing is that Ashworth protected him in there, and that's the truth. They fucking give him the red carpet. At least with Bournemouth, I fucking hate Bournemouth. At least then it's like a jungle. Do you know what I mean? Like them top target, them top high profile people are being tagged up. They don't, they put them on one board. They segregate more that ward from others, but they still got to go on movements, and they still got to, go to the cafe and all that. With Brady, they did everything for Brady. Even when every other patient was getting locked up at like 9 o'clock, everyone had to be in their cell. Everyone got locked up. He never got his door locked up. Yeah. They give him the fucking red carpet, and because you mentioned his name, do you know what I mean? Which was fucking wrong. It's like at the end of the day, I'm not trying to. Like, we was all in Ashworth together, innit? Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, hold on a second. Why the fuck is he being treated different from like the rest of us? We're all in here, but with him, especially a piece of shit like him, it was all like he was treated like he got special treatment to everyone else. So it just didn't make sense. Like I said to him, well, give me the charges and let me go to court and face this. You'll punish me something without, like, you're accusing me of something, you're not even accusing me, you're punishing me for something without what? There's no adjudication board, it's just the doctors are the gods in there. It's like whatever they say, they have so much power over you, and it is wrong, and there is something in them mental hospitals that they need to really look at. Because even like all the advocate, and they all work there together. There's no actual advocate for patients and that in there. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's all one community, it's all one world. There's not a lot of internals. So it's like anything they say, anything they do, do you know what I mean? Their word goes. Do you get what I'm saying? Every once a year you have a tribunal, but still they're going off of all reports from everybody inside. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of independence. It's fucking hard to get out of them places, and there's, especially when it comes to like punishment, like you're meant to be there for hospital for therapy and that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like how you put them in a cell for fucking 9 months for something? Do you know what I mean? That you accuse me, how you punish me for something? At least
no rehabilitation.
No, in prison you have like
just punishment straight. Yeah.
And it's meant to be a hospital. So how are you keeping me in a fucking hospital when you punish me? When do you know what I mean? Even it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
And you think they'd be wise to? I mean, people like that getting rumours about them and what have you. You don't think someone would just be able to go in there and say, oh yeah, them lot are planning on doing Brady.
He was a kid killer, bro. Do you know what I mean? Come on, bro. He's like the most notorious fucking piece of shit. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
And what they don't take into consideration, you went there because you got recalled for an ABH. He
didn't do. You know what I mean? He didn't do.
He didn't do. Proven he didn't do. He was actually a convicted child killer. Like, obviously, you're saying he gets treated better than other people. That's appalling. That's appalling for the system. I shouldn't have said things that I said. I mean, that conversation was in jest and that, but do you know what I mean? The generation of people come through that you know, when antisocial guys get together, the banter, jesting. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like humour. Like, no, I shouldn't have said it. But it was just a fucking. It was a sour joke. You know what I mean? It was just, I gotta do Brady, but it's like. But what's wrong is like 9 months punishment. That's the one thing that still sticks to. It's like. Why didn't you give me an outside charge him? Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's Brady. You know that this would have gone mad in the papers and all that. Like, you don't want attention, but you can behind closed doors. You can just punish me, stick me behind the door. So you've got to take this med. You've got to do this. Do you get what I'm sort of saying? To come out, and if you're meant to be there for therapy, shit like that just fucks you up even more. But you know, I think that was my only bad experience in Ashworth, and that was at the very beginning. And in that time in segregation, like, after that come out, I started working with a therapist. And then, obviously, after the last assault, that's when, in that time in Sega, that's when this whole journey, you know, that's when I really got my shit together, and that's when I was enlightened, that's when, you know, the whole attraction positive. So maybe sometimes things are meant to happen, maybe it was meant to happen, you know, but still, what I can do now is definitely shine light on, in these higher secure services, how, you know, wrong it can be, especially in Broadmoor. Broadmoor's the worst. Broadmoor's the fucking worst, bro.
So, if you had done that, you'd have had the support of the whole nation, though.
Yeah, probably.